Most people are waiting for something to change, waiting for the right mood, the perfect moment, a sign from the universe. But here's the truth. Nothing changes until you do. The world doesn't slow down to match your pace. It rewards those who take action, even when it's hard, even when it's uncertain. And that's the difference between those who dream and those who achieve. You don't need more time. You need more drive. You don't need more motivation. You need more push. That voice inside you, the one that says maybe later, it's lying. Because later turns into never. The longer you wait, the louder your doubts become. The only way to silence them is to act, to push, to rise when it's easier to sleep, to move when it's tempting to stay still. Today I'm going to walk you through the mindset and principles that turn ordinary people into unstoppable forces. These aren't tricks or hacks. These are battle-tested truths for those who are tired of staying stuck. You're going to learn how to push yourself, not once, but daily, until your actions align with your ambition. Stay with me for the next few minutes as I show you how to push yourself and make it happen. Let's dive in. Number 1, get comfortable being uncomfortable. If you want to grow, you have to let go of comfort. It's that simple. Everything you've ever wanted, every dream, every breakthrough, every victory, it lives on the other side of discomfort. But here's the problem. Most people run from it. They avoid hard conversations, skip hard workouts, delay hard decisions, and then they wonder why their life looks the same year after year. Discomfort is not your enemy. It's your greatest teacher. It's the fire that forges strength, discipline, and character. Think about it. When have you ever grown from something that was easy? Real growth doesn't happen when you're feeling good. It happens when you're tired, uncertain, nervous, and you keep going anyway. That's when you build the mindset that separates the average from the unstoppable. You want to level up? Then stop chasing easy. Start chasing hard. Chase the things that make your heart race and your legs shake. That's where your next level lives. You won't feel ready. You won't feel qualified. But if you wait to feel ready, you'll wait forever. Read that again. Push yourself into the stretch zone, the zone where your skills are tested, your patience is challenged, and your excuses are exposed. That zone is your transformation ground. It's where your mind starts to sharpen. It's where your confidence starts to rise. Not because life got easier, but because you got stronger. It's gonna hurt sometimes. It's gonna make you question yourself. But don't run from that. Embrace it. Smile at it. Say, this is exactly where I need to be. Because the truth is, discomfort doesn't last. But the results it produces, those can last a lifetime. So from this day on, anytime you feel discomfort creeping in, see it as a signal, not to back off, but to lean in. It means you're doing something right. It means you're getting closer. The ones who win aren't the ones who avoid discomfort. They're the ones who walk through it and come out better on the other side. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. That's the starting point of every great success story. And yours begins right here. Number 2, excuses are just delays in disguise. Let's be honest. Every excuse sounds convincing when you say it to yourself. I'm tired. It's not the right time. I'll do it tomorrow. But if you step back and look at it clearly, you'll see the pattern. Every excuse is just a delay dressed up as a reason. It doesn't push your life forward. It pauses it. And too many pauses turn into a life stuck on hold. Excuses are sneaky. They whisper in your ear, not with loud defiance, but with quiet comfort. They don't yell, give up. They gently say, take it easy, you've done enough. And before you know it, you've built a habit, not of action, but of avoidance. And that habit becomes the wall between who you are and who you could be. Here's the truth. Life doesn't care about your excuses. The results don't ask if you were tired. The opportunities don't wait for your perfect timing. They respond to one thing, action, not plans, not intentions, not promises, just action. That's it. Now think about this. Every time you make an excuse, you're not just delaying progress, you're training your brain to tolerate weakness. You're telling yourself, this is acceptable. And if you say that long enough, your standards drop, your urgency fades, your goals start collecting dust, while your excuses keep stacking up. But when you catch yourself in the moment, when you hear that voice trying to rationalize inaction, you have a choice. You can surrender, or you can speak back. You can say, no more delays, no more stories. It's time to move. And when you do that consistently, something powerful happens. You begin to build mental toughness. You stop negotiating with laziness. You start becoming the kind of person who shows up no matter what. It's not about being perfect. It's about being honest with yourself. Are you really too tired, or just avoiding effort? Is it really not the right time, or are you just afraid to start? When you start asking those questions, you start breaking through the lies. You stop letting your feelings run your life and start letting your values lead instead. If you want momentum, stop making room for excuses. Trade them for action, even if it's small, even if it's messy. Because progress isn't built in perfect conditions. It's built in imperfect effort, stacked day by day. So the next time you feel that urge to delay, stop, take one breath, and move anyway. That's how you win, not in bursts of energy, but in moments of decision. Remember this: excuses feel good now, but cost you later. Action feels hard now, but pays off forever. Make your choice. And if you're serious about success, you already know which one it has to be. Number 3, progress begins where motivation ends. Motivation is a great spark, but it's not the fire. It gets you started, but it won't carry you through. The real question is, what happens when the motivation runs out? What happens when the music stops? When the hype fades? When no one is cheering you on? That's where your true strength is revealed. That's where progress begins. Too many people rely on motivation like it's fuel. But motivation is unreliable. Some days you wake up fired up, and other days you wake up and want to roll over and forget everything. That's normal. But the people who move forward anyway, the ones who push when they don't feel like it, those are the ones who separate themselves. You see, progress is built on discipline, not desire. It's built on showing up. Not just when it's easy, but when it's inconvenient. It's built on doing the reps, even when your mind is begging for a break. That's the moment that counts. Not the days you feel inspired, but the days you push yourself through resistance. Think about a mountain climber. They don't stop every few steps waiting for another surge of motivation. They put one foot in front of the other, regardless of how they feel, because they've made a decision. And that decision is stronger than their emotions. Motivation might get you moving, but commitment is what keeps you going. It's what says, I don't care how I feel. I said I'd do it, so I'm doing it. That mindset is powerful. It doesn't just get results. It builds identity. You begin to see yourself as someone who follows through, someone who honors their word. And that changes everything. You don't need to be motivated every day. You just need to be committed every day. Commitment doesn't ask how you feel. It asks what you're willing to become. And if you want real transformation, then you've got to learn to move without the feeling. You have to train yourself to act from intention, not emotion. So next time you're not feeling it, remember this: that's the very moment that counts. That's where your growth lives. That's the rep that changes you. That's the workout, the work session, the decision that builds your next level. Progress isn't about big moments. It's about the quiet, private ones where you choose to keep going. No music, no crowd, just you and the path. That's where champions are made. So stop waiting for the feeling. Build the habit, build the discipline, and let that be your fuel. Because progress always begins where motivation ends. Number 4, don't wait for the perfect time. Let's clear something up right now. There is no perfect time. There never was, and there never will be. Waiting for the perfect time is the perfect excuse. It sounds smart, even responsible, but underneath, it's just fear wearing a mask. Fear of failure, fear of starting small, fear of being seen trying. But if you keep waiting, life will keep moving. Time doesn't care about your hesitation. The truth is, people waste years waiting for the stars to align. They want everything to feel right. The conditions, the mood, the schedule, the support. But life doesn't reward perfection. It rewards action. It rewards the person who starts anyway. Messy, unprepared, uncertain. Because that's how every great journey begins. Not with confidence, but with courage. Think about this. How many ideas have you had that you never started? How many plans are still sitting on the shelf because the timing wasn't right? If you keep waiting, those ideas become regrets. And nothing stings more than the pain of knowing you could have but didn't. The people you admire didn't wait for the perfect moment. They took the first step while still figuring out the second. They understood something most don't. The process creates clarity. Action builds momentum. You don't need all the answers to begin. You just need to begin. It's not about being reckless. It's about being real. You'll never feel 100% ready. You'll never have a day where everything is lined up just right. That's why you've got to move. while the idea is fresh, while the dream is still alive inside you. Because the longer you delay, the heavier the resistance becomes. And here's something else. Every moment you wait for perfect conditions, someone else is moving with imperfect ones. While you plan, they execute. While you hesitate, they grow. And guess what? They're not smarter, they're not luckier. They just decided to stop waiting. So make a decision. Not tomorrow, not next month. Now, take that first imperfect step. Write the first sentence. Record the first video. Make the first call. It doesn't have to be flawless. It just has to be real. Momentum comes from movement, not perfection. Waiting feels safe, but it's dangerous. It keeps you stuck. It keeps your potential locked up. So if you're serious about making it happen, you've got to let go of the illusion of perfect timing. It's not coming. But your time, that's now. The perfect time is the one you create by starting. Don't wait, push forward, and let your actions shape the path. That's how greatness begins. Number 5, your routine builds or breaks. Your success isn't built in one day, it's built in every day. And if you look closely at anyone who has accomplished anything meaningful, you'll see a pattern, not a lucky break. Not a magic formula, but a routine, a structure, a set of daily habits repeated over and over again until they became the very foundation of their growth. Your routine is either pulling you forward or holding you back. It's either feeding your goals or feeding your distractions. The scary part is, most people don't even realize how much their daily choices are shaping their future. It's not the big decisions once a year. It's the small ones made every morning, every afternoon, every night. You can't expect to feel confident, focused, and driven if your routine is chaotic. If you start your day scrolling, snoozing, or reacting to everyone else's agenda, you're already behind. But if you begin your day with intention, just a few simple habits like movement, silence, planning, gratitude, you start building a rhythm that tells your brain, we're in control. We're not drifting today. Routines create identity. Every time you show up consistently, even in small ways, you reinforce the belief that you're someone who follows through, that you don't wait for ideal conditions. You create them. And over time, that builds an unshakable sense of trust in yourself. That's power. Now, I'm not saying your routine has to look like someone else's. You don't need to copy what works for others. You need to design something that works for you. What matters is consistency. A solid routine doesn't have to be long. It just has to be intentional. And it has to align with the person you want to become. Start simple. Wake up with purpose. Set a clear focus. Move your body. Feed your mind. Stay off autopilot. These little steps, repeated daily, do something incredible. They shift your energy. They build momentum. And they give you something to fall back on when life gets messy. Because life will get messy. When stress hits, your routine is your anchor. When motivation fades, your routine carries you. And when success comes, it'll be your routine that keeps you grounded so you don't fall backward. So take a good look at your current habits. Ask yourself, is this routine building the future I want, or just keeping me busy? If it's not helping you grow, it's time to change it. Not next week. Now, because in the end, you don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your routines. Build one that holds you up, one that makes you stronger, one that makes success inevitable. Your routine isn't just a schedule, it's a system for greatness. Build it right, and watch what happens. Number 6. Pressure creates power. Most people run from pressure. They see it as something to avoid, something that signals danger, stress, or failure. But let's flip that thinking right now. Pressure is not your enemy. It's your catalyst. It's what molds your potential into performance. Without pressure, there is no urgency, no growth, no fire. You cannot rise without resistance. Pressure reveals who you are and who you can be. When things are easy, anyone can show up. Anyone can smile, put in the effort, and stay consistent. But what about when the stakes are high? When you're tired, behind schedule, or pushed into unfamiliar territory? That's when you find out what you're really made of. It's easy to wish for calm waters, but calm waters don't make strong sailors. Storms do. And pressure is your storm. It's the thing that sharpens your focus, that forces you to grow faster, think clearer, and act bolder. Don't hide from it. Lean into it. Because the more pressure you can handle, the more power you begin to carry. Diamonds are made under pressure, so are champions. You see, it's not about avoiding difficult moments. It's about adapting in them, breathing through them, standing tall in the middle of the storm and saying, "This is where I grow. This is where I level up." Now, does pressure feel good? No, it's uncomfortable. It shakes you, rattles you, tests every inch of your patience and strength. But that's exactly the point. It wakes up parts of you that comfort never will. And those parts, the ones that only show up when you're being stretched, are the parts that take you to your next level. Here's what most people get wrong. They think pressure breaks them. But pressure doesn't break you. It exposes the cracks that were already there. And when you see those cracks, you have a choice. You can patch them up, strengthen the foundation, and come back tougher. Or you can keep running and stay the same. So if you feel pressure in your life right now, that's not a curse. That's an opportunity. That's life saying, let's see what you're really capable of. Don't back away. Push through. Train yourself to breathe under pressure. Think clearly when others panic. Move forward when others freeze. That ability to stay calm and strong under pressure is what separates the average from the elite. And you don't develop that overnight. You develop it every time you step into the fire and refuse to back down. Pressure isn't here to crush you. It's here to shape you, to stretch you into someone who can handle more, lead more, and achieve more. Embrace it. Let it work on you. Because pressure, when faced with the right mindset, doesn't shrink you. It builds you. So next time pressure shows up, don't ask, "Why me?" Ask, "What is this trying to teach me?" And then rise. Number 7. Doubt kills more dreams than failure. Let's talk about doubt. The silent killer of ambition. Not failure, not rejection. Doubt. That little voice in your head that whispers, "What if you're not good enough?" Or "Who do you think you are to try this?" You see, doubt doesn't come with alarms. It sneaks in quietly. And if you're not careful, it will convince you to settle before you even start. The saddest part? Most dreams don't die because they were impossible. They die because someone thought they were. Doubt didn't just slow them down. It stopped them completely. And if you let it, it'll do the same to you. But here's the truth. Doubt is a liar. It's not based on fact. It's based on fear. And it always shows up when you're on the edge of something important. Because deep down, your mind knows that stepping forward means stepping into the unknown. And the unknown feels risky, but you know what's even riskier? Staying exactly where you are. Failure at least gives you lessons. Failure builds experience, toughness, and insight. But doubt gives you nothing. It takes and never builds. And the worst part is, it convinces you that you're playing it safe when in reality, you're just shrinking. You don't have to eliminate doubt completely. That's not realistic. But you do have to act in spite of it. That's what courage is. Courage isn't feeling confident. It's moving forward while doubt is screaming in your ear. Every time you do that, you weaken its grip. You prove it wrong through action. Look back on your life. How many times did you doubt yourself, only to realize later you were capable all along? That should tell you something. Doubt isn't truth. It's a test. A test of how much you believe in your own potential. And here's a shift for you. Stop asking, "What if I fail?" Start asking, "What if I win? What if you actually pull it off? What if you're more powerful than you thought? What if everything you want is just one step beyond the doubt?" Confidence doesn't come before the action. It comes from the action. You build belief by showing up, by doing the reps, by proving to yourself day after day that you can handle it. And that only happens when you push through the doubt, not avoid it. So next time you hear that little voice telling you to stop, pause, or wait, answer it. Say, "Thanks for your opinion, but I've got work to do." And then take that next step. Because at the end of the day, doubt will always exist, but it doesn't have to win. What matters is whether you listen to it or lead yourself through it. And if you're willing to do the latter, your dreams are still alive. Number 8, discipline over drama. Let's face it, life will throw drama your way. Chaos, distractions, emotions, setbacks, they're all part of the game. You can't control everything that happens around you, but you can control how you respond. And the people who win in life, they choose discipline over drama. Every single time. Discipline doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't care if you had a rough morning, if someone disappointed you, or if things aren't going your way. Discipline says, show up anyway, while drama pulls you into the storm. Discipline keeps you on track. It reminds you of what really matters. You see, drama thrives on reaction. It wants you to get caught up in every small thing, every opinion, every emotion, every inconvenience. But discipline is different. Discipline is rooted in purpose. It doesn't get loud, it gets focused. And in a world that constantly demands your attention, that focus is your greatest weapon. When you make discipline your default, everything changes. You start acting on principle, not impulse. You stick to your plan, even when it's hard. You keep your promises to yourself, even when no one's watching. That's where confidence is born. Not from talking big, but from doing what needs to be done, day after day. Think about it. When has drama ever moved your life forward? It might feel urgent, it might feel emotional, but it rarely brings progress. Discipline, on the other hand, brings results. Quiet, consistent, powerful results. The kind that stack up over time and build the life you actually want. Now, I'm not saying you need to become cold or robotic. Emotions are human. Setbacks are real. But don't let them run your life. Feel what you need to feel, and then move. Get back to your mission, because your mission is bigger than your mood. And your goals won't wait for you to feel good. They only respond to effort. Start choosing discipline in the small things. Wake up when you said you would. Do the work you promised yourself. Say no to distractions. Keep your focus on your path. It's not always exciting, and it's definitely not always easy, but it's always worth it. Discipline isn't about perfection. It's about consistency. It's about learning to lead yourself, even when things around you are messy. And when you live like that, the noise gets quieter. The drama fades, and the results start speaking for you. So the next time life tries to drag you into the chaos, pause, take a breath, and choose discipline. Choose the path that leads you forward, not the one that keeps you spinning. Because in the end, it's not the drama that defines you. It's what you do in the middle of it. Choose wisely. Choose growth. Choose discipline. Every time. Number 9. Focus on the goal, not the obstacles. It's easy to get lost in what's going wrong. The setbacks, the detours, the things that don't go as planned, they scream for your attention. And if you're not careful, you start giving all your energy to the wrong things. But here's the truth. Where your focus goes, your progress flows. If you keep staring at the obstacles, you'll start to believe that's all there is. But if you fix your eyes on the goal, the path forward always reveals itself. Every journey worth taking will have challenges. That's a given. But the winners, they don't dwell on the roadblocks. They stay locked in on the destination. They keep their eyes on the outcome. Because when you focus on what you want instead of what's in your way, you activate a different level of determination. You begin to push through instead of backing down. Obstacles aren't the problem. It's how you see them. Some people treat them like stop signs. Others treat them like stepping stones. The difference isn't in the challenge. It's in the focus. You either focus on the wall or you focus on how to climb over it. Let me tell you something powerful. Your mind will always magnify what you feed it. Feed it problems, and it will multiply them. Feed it purpose, and it will find solutions. You get to decide what dominates your thoughts. So choose wisely. Choose to stay centered on your goal, no matter how loud the distractions become. Now, this doesn't mean you ignore reality. You don't pretend the hard things don't exist, but you don't let them steal the spotlight either. A champion mindset says, I see the challenge, but I'm not giving it my full attention. My energy belongs to the mission. That mindset builds resilience. It builds laser focus. Think about athletes, artists, entrepreneurs. Anyone who's achieved something remarkable. Their journey wasn't smooth, but they didn't lose sight of what they were chasing. That vision pulled them through the rough days, the doubts, the failures, and it can do the same for you if you protect it. So when things start to feel overwhelming, ask yourself one question. Am I focusing on the problem or the purpose? If it's the problem, shift. Remind yourself why you started. Visualize where you're going. Speak life into your own path, because sometimes that's what it takes to keep going. Don't let obstacles distract you from the outcome. Your focus is your fuel. Aim it at the right thing. The path may not be easy, but it's yours to walk. And if you keep your eyes on the goal, if you stay mentally locked in, even when it's tough, nothing can stop you. Obstacles may slow you down, but they can't defeat a mind that refuses to look away from the prize. Stay locked in, stay relentless, and keep moving forward. Number 10. Small wins, big momentum. Most people underestimate the power of small wins. They're so focused on big breakthroughs, massive leaps, and overnight success that they overlook the real driver of momentum, daily progress. But here's the truth. Greatness isn't built in giant, dramatic moments. It's built in the small, quiet victories that no one sees. The early wake-up, the extra rep, the finished task. The small win that moves you just one step forward. Success is a game of inches, not miles. You don't climb the mountain in one jump. You climb it one step, one decision, one push at a time. And the secret? Every small win builds confidence. Every time you follow through on something, even if it seems insignificant, you reinforce the belief that you're capable. That belief becomes your fuel. Too often people paralyze themselves by aiming too high, too fast. They want to go from 0 to 100 overnight. But when the results don't show up instantly, they lose faith, get frustrated, and quit. What they don't realize is that small wins stacked consistently lead to massive transformation. It's not about how much you do in a day. It's about how often you do what matters. Every small win sends a message to your brain. We're making progress. And progress is addictive. It doesn't matter how slow it feels. As long as you're moving forward, you're building momentum. And once momentum kicks in, everything changes. It becomes easier to stay consistent. You start wanting to show up. You start believing that more is possible. Think about it. When you complete one task, don't you feel a little more energized to tackle the next? That's momentum. When you do one hard thing in the morning, doesn't it set the tone for the rest of your day? That's momentum. And the beautiful thing is, you create it yourself. You don't need motivation to find it. You just need to start. Pick one thing, one win, one action that supports your growth. Do it daily. Celebrate it. Not with applause, but with recognition. Remind yourself that it matters, because it does. And over time, you'll look back and realize those small wins built the foundation of your success. This isn't about lowering your standards. It's about building your strength. Because the stronger you get at doing the small things well, the more equipped you are to handle the big things when they come. So forget the pressure of doing everything at once. Focus on doing something today that moves you forward. No matter how small it seems, it counts. Stack those wins. Protect that momentum. Because once you get moving, you become hard to stop. Small wins, repeated daily, lead to unstoppable momentum. And momentum, real, earned momentum, is how you make it happen. Keep going. The next win is already waiting. Number 11. Own your morning, own your life. If you win the morning, you set the tone to win the entire day. That's not a cliche. It's a strategy. The first hour of your day is the foundation upon which everything else stands. It's your launch pad. And if that launch pad is weak, scattered, reactive, then everything you build on top of it will feel unstable. But if it's strong, focused, and intentional, you carry that energy with you into every decision, every task, every challenge. The truth is, most people start their day by reacting. They wake up late, check their phone, scroll through chaos, and let the world set their emotional tone before their feet even hit the ground. And then they wonder why they feel anxious, behind, or unfocused all day. That's not a coincidence. That's the result of giving away control in the very first moments of your morning. But it doesn't have to be that way. Your morning is yours. It's your time to take command of your mindset, your focus, and your priorities. And it doesn't require hours of rituals, just a few non-negotiable habits that remind your brain who's in charge. Wake up with intention. Don't hit snooze. That's the first decision of the day, and you want it to be a win. Move your body, even for a few minutes. Get your blood flowing. Clear your mind with silence, journaling, prayer, or reflection. Whatever anchors you, set your focus. What matters today? What are you committed to finishing? What distractions are you going to avoid? These little steps build something big. They create structure. They build confidence. They tell your subconscious, we're not drifting today, we're leading. And that energy spills into everything else. Your meetings, your workouts, your relationships, your results. Now don't expect perfection. Some mornings will be harder than others. But the key is consistency. Not every morning needs to be amazing, but it needs to be yours. You need to own it, not hand it over to your mood, not hand it over to your inbox. You set the tone. You light the fire. You want to be productive? Start with presence. You want to feel empowered? Start with structure. You want your day to move with purpose? Then give it one from the moment you wake up. The morning isn't just a time of day, it's a statement. It's you declaring, I'm in control. I'm not waiting for life to happen. I'm making it happen. That kind of discipline builds a different level of self-respect. And that self-respect shows up in how you treat your goals. So stop giving away your mornings. Reclaim them, protect them, design them. Because when you own your morning, you don't just have a better day, you build a better life. Start strong, stay focused, and carry that momentum through everything you do. Number 12, don't chase motivation, create it. Too many people sit around waiting for motivation to strike like lightning. They think one magical moment will come along and suddenly they'll feel ready, inspired, unstoppable. But let's get real. Motivation is unreliable. It's like weather. Some days it's there, some days it's not. If your progress depends on how motivated you feel, you'll never get very far. The key is to stop chasing motivation and start creating it. How? Through action, through movement, through showing up, especially when you don't feel like it. That's where the real magic happens. You don't need to feel ready to get started. You just need to get started. Because motivation isn't something you find. It's something you generate. It's the result of doing, not the cause of it. Think about it. Have you ever had a day where you didn't feel like doing something, but you pushed yourself anyway? And once you got into it, the energy started to rise. That's not a coincidence. That's proof. Action creates momentum, and momentum fuels motivation. But if you wait around for motivation to show up first, you'll stay stuck. The most successful people you know, they don't rely on motivation. They rely on discipline. They rely on systems, routines, and habits that kick in whether they feel excited or not. They've trained themselves to act on commitment, not emotion. And over time, that consistency creates results. And those results, they create even more motivation. It's a cycle, but you have to be the one to start it. And that means being willing to push yourself on the days you'd rather coast. It means saying, I don't feel like it, but I'm doing it anyway. That small decision, repeated over and over, transforms you into someone unstoppable. Waiting for motivation is just another form of procrastination. It's a delay tactic. It's the brain trying to protect you from discomfort. But discomfort is exactly where motivation grows. When you move through resistance, you earn that surge of energy. You create that fire from within, not from some outside source. And let's be clear, this doesn't mean you'll never feel tired or uninspired. Everyone does. But the difference is, you don't let that feeling decide your future. You learn to move first, feel second. You learn that motivation shows up when you show up. So stop chasing motivation like it's some magical key. You're the key. Your action is the trigger. Get up, move, do one thing. Doesn't matter how small, just do it. And watch how that one step changes everything. Because once you stop waiting and start working, motivation stops being something you need and starts becoming something you own. Number 13, surround yourself with fire. You become like the people you spend the most time with. That's not a motivational quote. It's a fact. Energy is contagious. Habits are contagious. Mindsets are contagious. And if you're constantly around people who are lazy, negative, or full of excuses, don't be surprised if that starts rubbing off on you. It's not about being better than anyone else. It's about protecting your future. The people in your circle are either fueling your fire or pouring water on it. They're either pushing you to grow or pulling you back into comfort. And you have to ask yourself, do the people around me challenge me to level up? Do they speak life into my goals? Do they hold me to a higher standard? If not, it might be time to make some difficult changes. Now, this doesn't mean cutting everyone off, but it does mean being intentional. You need to be around people who want to win, people who are chasing something bigger, people who don't just talk about it, they live it. Because when you surround yourself with fire, it's impossible to stay cold. Their energy ignites yours. Their discipline sharpens yours. Their hunger wakes up something inside you. Think about it. Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling more focused, more inspired, more clear? That's the power of the right environment. It reminds you of who you want to be. And more importantly, it reminds you that it's possible. If you hang around people who settle, you'll start to think settling is normal. But if you're around people who push themselves, who keep showing up, keep building, keep going, you start to believe you can do the same. Your standard rises, your pace increases, and your goals stop feeling distant. You don't need a huge network. You don't need 100 successful people on speed dial. You just need a few solid individuals who push you to grow. And if you can't find them in person, find them through books, podcasts, content. There's no excuse anymore. We live in a world where you can tap into greatness with one click. Use it. And while we're at it, be the fire too. Be the one who brings energy, who uplifts, who leads by example. The goal isn't just to receive greatness from others. It's to become someone who inspires it in return. So take a look at your circle. Ask yourself honestly, does this environment support the life I want? If not, it's time to upgrade it. Because when you surround yourself with fire, something inside you changes. You start burning brighter. You start thinking bigger. You start becoming who you were meant to be. And that's the power of the right circle. They don't just support your dream, they help you ignite it. Number 14, show up every single day. If you want to win at anything, you've got to master one thing above all, showing up. Not once in a while, not just when you feel good, every single day. Because consistency beats intensity every time. Anyone can go hard for a day or two, but the ones who achieve real, lasting success, they show up even when it's boring, even when it's hard, even when no one's watching. You see, showing up daily isn't just about checking a box. It's about building a standard. It's about proving to yourself that your word means something, that you don't quit when it's uncomfortable, that you don't need permission, applause, or the perfect conditions. You're here because you said you would be. And that kind of discipline, that's rare. Most people are driven by emotion. If they feel tired, they don't show up. If they don't see quick results, they stop. But the ones who rise above, they've made a decision. And that decision isn't based on how they feel in the moment. It's based on who they want to become. Showing up creates rhythm. It builds momentum. You start stacking days, and suddenly you've got a streak. That streak becomes your identity. You're no longer someone who tries. You're someone who does. And that consistency day after day compounds into results. But here's the part most people miss. Some days won't feel productive. Some days will be slow, frustrating, or even backwards. But that's okay, because the win is in the showing up. It's in keeping the promise to yourself, regardless of the outcome. That's how you build trust in your own mind. That's how you get mentally tougher. Even when it feels like nothing's happening, something is happening. You're becoming stronger, more focused, more reliable, and eventually that foundation will lead to the breakthrough. Not because of one amazing day, but because of hundreds of ordinary ones that you refuse to skip. Don't fall into the trap of thinking you need to be perfect. You don't. You just need to be present. You need to do something each day that moves the needle. Small effort, big impact, if it's done consistently. Remember, progress is rarely loud. It's quiet. It's steady. It's earned. So make the commitment. Not to be perfect, but to be consistent. Show up on the good days. Show up on the bad days. Show up when it's raining. Show up when you're tired. Show up when no one claps. Because that's how winners are made, not by hype, but by habit. Your future doesn't need grand gestures. It needs daily action. So no matter how you feel, no matter how slow it seems, just keep showing up. Day by day, brick by brick. That's how greatness is built. Number 15. Become the person who doesn't quit. If there's one thing that will separate you from the rest, it's this. Be the person who doesn't quit. Not the fastest, not the smartest, not the most talented, just the one who refuses to give up. Because in the long run, persistence beats potential. Grit beats gifted. And those who stay in the game, no matter how hard it gets, eventually find a way to win. Quitting is easy. It always will be. The moment things get hard, your mind will offer you the exit door. It's too much. It's not worth it. Try something easier. That voice will sound logical, even caring. But make no mistake, it's a trap. Because every time you quit, you teach yourself to walk away from discomfort. And once that habit sets in, it starts showing up everywhere. But when you push through, when you stay the course, even when it's messy, frustrating, and slow, you build something powerful. Resilience. You build the kind of strength that can't be faked. The kind that turns ordinary people into legends. And here's the truth. You don't need to get it right every time. You just need to stay in it. It's not about being perfect. It's about being relentless. Every setback you survive makes you sharper. Every challenge you face, and don't quit, builds mental armor. And that armor, it protects your dream. It shields your purpose. It reminds you that progress always takes longer than you thought. But it's always worth it. People will doubt you. Even you will doubt you. But your power lies in not backing down when those doubts come. When others pause, you keep going. When it would be easy to stop, you take another step. Because that's what separates the dreamers from the doers. The ones who keep showing up after the feeling fades. You can't always control the outcome, but you can always control your effort. You can always control your decision to stay in the fight. That choice is your power. That mindset becomes your superpower. So decide today, no matter how long it takes, no matter how many times you fall, you're not quitting. You're not giving up on your goal, your vision, or yourself. You're in this until the finish line, and nothing less. Because the truth is, you won't be remembered for how fast you moved. You'll be remembered for how deeply you believed, for how long you endured, for the strength you showed when everything told you to walk away and you chose to stay. So whatever you're chasing, hold tight to it. Push through the resistance. Break through the doubt, and become the person who doesn't quit. That's how you win. That's how you change your life. And that's how you make it happen. Everything you want, every goal, every dream, every breakthrough, it's not hiding from you. It's waiting on you. Waiting for you to stop hesitating. Waiting for you to push past the excuses, the doubt, the fear, and step up. You've just walked through 15 truths, 15 principles that don't just inspire, they equip. These are not empty words. They're tools, and tools only work when you use them. The difference between where you are and where you want to be is simple. Consistent action. Not perfect action. Not convenient action. But daily, disciplined, focused effort. That's how real transformation happens. Not in bursts, not in flashes, but in the grind. In the decision to push yourself again and again, especially when it's hard, especially when it's quiet, especially when no one else is watching. You don't need more time. You don't need more motivation. You need one thing to take what you've learned here and apply it. Let it shape your mornings. Let it rewire your habits. Let it fuel your mindset. Let it build the version of you who doesn't wait to feel ready, but shows up anyway. Because here's the truth. No one is coming to do it for you. No one's going to knock on your door and hand you your best life. That's on you. But that's not a burden. It's a gift. Because it means you're in control. You get to decide how far you go. You get to decide how hard you push. You get to make it happen. And you can. You absolutely can. The potential is already in you. The fire, the strength, the discipline, it's all there. It's just been waiting for you to wake it up. And now it's time. Time to stop overthinking. Time to stop waiting. Time to stop shrinking. Push yourself. Hold the line. Keep the promise. And no matter what, do not quit. Because the ones who win are never the ones who had it easy. They're the ones who refuse to stop pushing. And now that's you. Get up, get focused, and go make it happen.